Hi all, I had a very quick win earlier tonight playing for Muswell Hill Chess Club in the Middlesex Division 2 League. By the way, if you're near the Muswell Hill area in North London, we're looking for players next season, and I think we're going to be up against stiff opposition in Middlesex 1 with the likes of King's Head Chess Club. So anyway, MuswellHillChessClub.com, by the way, if you're interested in joining the club. Oz Black, my opponent was Maclannan, graded just ECF 145. So at 185 I was outgrading him quite significantly. Anyway, after knight f6 he played knight c3, and I thought I'd play d5 here instead of playing my usual g6, because I didn't really like the perk variation. He played now e4 and I played e6, so I'm going into a French defence again by transposition, just like my last over the board game. Now e5, so I retreat the knight, and now knight ce2. So I just play classically like in the French, just trying to undermine this d4 square. The moves for black come very naturally here, very easy to play. One thing about the French defence though, which I learnt from my last game, is there's actually a lot of cunning waiting moves you can play in the French, because it's got the more closed pawn structure. So unlike the Sicilian, there's a lot of more potential for cunning kind of positional moves. You know, waiting to see what the opponent will do, their setup, and then optimising your position based on that. I played here queen b6, and now after knight f3, I played f6, which is a kind of waiting move, because I didn't want to immediately play c takes d4. He played now g3, and I'm not entirely sure if this is all theoretical. It looks theoretical, but after c takes d, I think he definitely went wrong now after this bishop b4 check. He played bishop d2, and I simply castled here, with seemingly a very comfortable position. He took now on b4, which I think is a clear mistake. Although he's releasing a lot of this pressure on d4, this knight is actually tactically dangerous on this d3 square. And after bishop h3, I just take on e5. And it seems now that he's already in trouble. For example, if he takes with the d pawn, then queen e3, and I'm threatening knight d3 check, and it looks quite very dangerous. You know, f2 mating, etc. If he takes, on the other hand, with f takes e5, then obviously rook takes f3. So the way he took in the game was knight takes e5. And I just took on e5, and he takes f takes e, and you notice he can't castle. Rybka already gives a big advantage to black. So he's definitely gone wrong somewhere. Bishop takes b4 definitely looks a very suspect move. And now I simply play queen a6, just coordinating this knight and queen on this sensitive d3 square, not leaving him many choices if he wants to try and castle. He played knight f4, and let's have a quick look. Knight c1, queen c4, Rybka reckons it's quite crushing for white because of this threat of knight c2 check. So that's pretty bad. So he played knight f4, and I just play rook takes f4, just an exchange sacrifice, which Rybka actually likes. In fact, I can't find any flaws in this game, clear flaws, even with Rybka having a look at it. After king d2, I was tempted to look at knight f2 or knight takes f4, but I thought knight takes b2 was stronger. And actually it's the move Rybka likes. Honestly, I didn't take Rybka with me to this over the board game. It just seems to be the most attacking move, and I've got potential for bishop d7 and harassing his king further. And he played a terrible move now, queen h5. So although it threatens mate in 1, it allows this horrible queen d3 check. And after king e1, I play queen e4 check, just double attacking his king and rook. But before going into that, let's have a quick look. King c1, and Rybka thinks it's a mate in about 11 with this sequence. All these checks, the rook, queen and bishop just coordinate, and after h6, you know, the threat now is just mating with something like g5 check. So this causes a desperado. It's just a forced mate. So that was a forced mate in about 11. So anyway, the way he played it was, if we go back here, after this check, he played king e1, And after check here, king f2, knight d3 check, he played king g3, just allowing a mate in 2. So it was my quickest win of the season here. Just playing black against this 145 ECF. Let's have a quick overview and summary of this game. So it was a kind of French defence again by transposition, but quite disastrously played by white. A lot of the stuff in Watson's play, the French, often features black exploding the centre like this. So it shows the French can be a very, very aggressive opening if it's misplayed by white. And that there are these great opportunities for waiting moves, which can really, misstep your opponent. As it was in this game, it just seemed to just go completely wrong here with this bishop takes b4. So even though it would seem as though black's knight was misplaced, it's tactically justified. White's king's trapped in the centre, and this little just exchange set combination just proved just end of game. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game, and I'll be continuing my coverage of Ivanchuk in Linares 1991, and see you on YouTube. Leave me a comment if you like this game. Thanks very much.